I just have to wait for YouTube to catch up because then I can mute it. Hello, Leslie. Well, I don't know, Leslie. Imagine if you woke up to a headline, Harry's dead. Yeah, I'm a bit torn myself, but let's be serious, because I believe it's a possibility that something is going to happen to Harry. And that's what I wanted. Hi, Champagne. Hi, Strawberry. Hi, Dodging Bullets. I just wanted to run through some theories with you guys, because it does sound, I mean, none of us have actually seen Harry, so we don't know if he is in floods of tears, freaking out. I believe he is. Let's wait for a few more people. I'm just, and I've got the, oh, it's so hot. I've got the YouTube up so I can see your comments properly today. Hi, Sue. Hi, Colette. He needs to be sectioned, I agree. But what if something happens to him before that can happen? So, hi, Denise. Hi, Denise. Denise Elliott. Denise Burnside. Thank you. Yeah, I got these in Jib. I got them from a market and they were £5. Second Rose says he needs a psychiatric facility long term. He paid for a recent security report that was written by 20-year-olds with no intelligence. I can't highlight your comment because I'm doing the phone on StreamYard and I'm doing this on oh, now I've clicked the wrong thing. How do I get rid of that without blocking you? Oh. There we go. A security report written by 20-year-olds with no intelligence background. Just stay away if so worried. He keeps upping the lies. Yeah, I tell you what, Second Row. He's going on and on about how I heard that he thinks, Invictus will be bombed or something if he goes. Then don't go. Do you know what I mean? If he's really worried, if he hasn't got the protection, if the Invictus themselves can't provide security for the people attending, then quite frankly, Harry, don't go. If he cared about any of the veterans and their families and children and members of the public, he would not go, surely. Surely to goodness. Hi, Margaret. Marcia. Gay. AJ. Didapoo. Godders. Lizzie. Dean. Leather and Lace. Wow, there's loads of you. Sparks. Sandra Peacock. Lindsay and Julia Wigger. And this is quite an impromptu live because I was reading all your comments in my video today. And that's what got me thinking, because a lot of you have sort of said he probably will die quite soon. Yeah, that's what you fear. Not all of you, but a lot do. And I think he has been wound up like a cork. I think he's a lot like his mother in a way. One of you said Meghan is using him like Bashir used his mother. And I think you're right. I really do. And I'll add to that, I don't think Bashir was the only person adding to Diana's paranoia. I don't believe Diana suffered with a mental illness of paranoia. I believe she had healthy paranoia because a lot of people around her were untrustworthy. That was the problem for her. I think she was one of the most sane people that I'd ever seen before in my life. In fact, I don't know how she coped as well as she did for as long as she did. And if you cast your minds back, even Charles said at the engagement, when they announced the engagement, he said, I think she's been very brave to take me on, because he knew, they all know what the person has got in store. Hi, Elmo, little poet. Well, there's so many of you. I'm going to try and cover as many. D2251. Life is a risk. Everything that's happening to him is his own doing. Yes. And he takes no responsibility. Okay, I'm going to lay it on the line. What if someone bumps him off who's quite close to him? Hi, Lady Nim. That's my question. Because at the moment, he's in a really vulnerable, tricky position. He appears to trust people who are very, very... By the way, I've got a fan on. Is that annoying any of you? Because it's a lot cooler today. We've got a bit of cloud cover, but it's still incredibly sticky. Maureen, I didn't read Spare, but it seems he bragged about how many people he killed while in the army. I want to make this clear. I don't think Harry is in any danger from the Taliban or from extremists or from these kind of there were some racist lunatics, like Nazi type people. There's always that sort around. Thank God there's not many of them. I'm not talking about that kind of risk. And I don't want to spell it out too. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to spell it out too, obviously. But are you with me, guys? Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you put a 1 in the comments if you do and a 2 if you don't? And if you don't, I'll try and elaborate a bit more. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I think everybody. Okay, Debbie. I don't believe Harry is in danger from outside forces. I don't believe anybody's going to run up to Harry, shoot at him, stab him, nothing like that. I think if anything happens to Harry, it will most likely happen within his own 4 walls. Perhaps some other people in the comments who put the 1 can explain. Yeah, I think most people have got the 1. Yeah, I mean, he's not high profile. He's not that close to the throne. He's deeply unpopular with his own family. He's unpopular with his own country. So he's not worth hitting. Terrorists, extremists, people who are looking to be fame at the 15 minutes fame, whatever. They're looking for like high profile targets. He is not. Okay, just in case anyone else has a 2, there was the story of Anne Woodward. Anne Woodward was a sort of a showgirl, lap dance type girl. She entertained an elderly, very wealthy guy in America. I'm going to try and do that every time I see an advert. I'm going to try and stop speaking. So, so you can hear me. Yes, I did see your advice about what to do behind paywalls and put it on airplane mode. Can you look into the King Chang from Defender of the Faith to multi-faith? Are we no longer a Christian country? He's always said that. He wants to be Defender of Faiths. He's always said that. I mean, Charles is... Monarchs are not what we get what we get. Do you know what I mean? Hi, Wirian. Fiona, he's not just making himself a target. He's endangered the veterans. He needs to step down as patron. Yes. If he truly believes that the event and the people attending the event are in serious danger, then just don't go, Harry. It's not like he's helping them raise funds. Quite the opposite. He's damaging them quite badly. Hi, Piccolo. I think he will set another New York situation up again. He went to countries on the UK banned list. Well, I mean, what I think is probably most likely an outcome. And I'm not, a fortune teller, but what I would be fearful for, if I was his mother, let's say Diana was alive. If I was his mother, fully grown man who has painted himself into a corner like that, with a woman like that, I would tell him, be very careful what you eat. I would be in the home preparing all of his meals. Be very careful what you drink. Let's say Harry died of some sort of overdose. Let's say this time next week, and this is all hypothetical, but let's say there was a headline, Harry overdosed, he didn't make it. And what are we all going to be saying in that video? What will we all say? Come on, tell me the truth. What would you think if you saw a headline like that? I know what I would think and what my immediate thought would be straight away. And it would be very frustrating. And I know no one would listen because the mainstream doesn't listen. Politicians apparently don't listen to us. Do you see what I mean? He wouldn't have married Meghan, that's for sure. No, he wouldn't. But let's say that he did and she was alive. Hi, Catherine. I'm sorry if I haven't managed to say hello to everybody. No, I wouldn't be surprised, Katie. I wouldn't be at all surprised, although I don't believe it would happen on UK soil. because there'd be UK doctors, UK autopsies, etc. I believe, you know, it would be more likely a holiday somewhere rather remote and a little bit third world. That's what I believe. Yeah, TMM. Thank you for saying it for me. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I would think if I woke up to a headline like that. D, I suspect this is more emotional blackmail. The trouble is Harry and Meghan have cried wolf once too often. Yes, they have. They have. But as has been pointed out by somebody today, and I can't remember who, I think it might have been that Tom Sykes. He did say, we don't know that it's Harry who's releasing all of these statements and stuff from Team Harry. And Sykes suspects it's Meghan. He suspects Harry isn't actually that bothered about security. And there's probably an element, he's correct about that. Hi, Beverly. Oh, Lyd, yes. Lovely Lyd. I bet you're right near the sandy beach, you know, big sandy beach, miles away from Brighton. I'd have loved that sandy beach when I was a kid. Hi, Brick Girl. Is he safe? Who the hell cares? Well, can you imagine waking up to the Dowager Duchess? Let me phrase it that way. I think a lot of people would care. Because that would be a whole new kind of monster, my friends, believe me. Rhonda. Harry surrounds himself with people who do not have his best interests at heart. Exactly. In my opinion, he's a dolt. We all know it. I'm not saying he's responsible for his actions, but he's easily manipulated. Or just like if he's an addict, and I mean, he has said he has been in the past, or he's taken drugs, I think it's a pretty safe assumption. With an addict, all you've got to do is say, well, do you want some drugs? Just sign this. Go sit in the corner. Let me deal with the money. Let me deal with stuff. Do you see what I mean? That's a very vulnerable person, isn't it? Shayla Rue. How could King Charles be allowing them back into his inner circle? He's going mad. Well, firstly, we don't really know that he is. Secondly, even if he is, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I think we're going to have to wait till next week to see what actually happens. Minnie. Harry was used to being taken care of. And yeah, exactly. He's gone from being in sort of the cotton wool of the palace, and he probably assumes that his wife would have provided all the same things, because he will have been oblivious. Willie Van Ridge, is she really? Yeah, I think she would keep his title. Yes, that's the law. Yes, I think she would keep the title. Why wouldn't she? And she wouldn't lose the title unless she remarried. Yes, Myran, you can't stop an adult child from acting badly. JM Stars, what do you really think will end Harry? A drug overdose. Not necessarily of his own making. Yeah, that's what I think. And because it's all been built up, I mean, like I say, we haven't seen Harry in tears. We don't know. He might be perfectly level-headed. He might be stone cold sober. We don't know. We have been fed that he is, he's a mess, he's having tantrums and stuff. So if there were to be a headline, Harry overdosed, it would be so easy to say, oh, it was all just too much for him. We think it was accidental. He went off the rails. He had loads of booze and he took drugs and, he died. It was all, do you see what I mean? And who's ever going to put them straight? Especially if it were to happen. Let's say, let's go to a nice deserted island. Do you know, I knew this guy. He was a total fraud. Said he was a marine surveyor, and he got his degree on an indigenous island that had sunk since he got his degree. He said the island had sunk, so he couldn't prove he had a degree. And it was somewhere near Fiji or some shit like that. And the guy didn't know shit about boats. If you took someone on holiday to an island like that and they had a bit of a drug overdose and a whoopsie, and they don't have the same infrastructure that England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland have, or any other country, it would be so easy, oh, we fly the body back, we got the death certificate, that's it, da da da. I wouldn't put it past certain people, let's put it that way. Linwood, look at poor Matthew Perry. He overdosed thanks to people who were supposed to be helping him. Thank you. Exactly. And I think Harry is in more danger than his mother ever was. Because she was quite intelligent, very intelligent, actually. She was media savvy. She was just, her head was filled with all kinds of paranoia by different people, I believe, who surrounded her, who all had their own agendas and their own reasons for what they did. They wanted to exploit her. And of course they want to exploit Harry, and he has allowed it. He's written a book admitting he takes drugs. He's done interviews with people like that, Dr. Gabor and other people. He's done loads of interviews. And he's advertised himself, and people have said it over the years. They felt she's setting, hi Petra. They felt she's setting him up for a divorce. I personally think it could be for something even worse. Yes, dodging bullets. Meghan is definitely behind Harry's paranoia. Remember that Netflix thing? And how frightened he was? And a look on her face. She was like, oh yeah, just so you know. She wasn't looking. But he was looking, where? Where's the moped? And there was no moped. She put that imaginary moped thought in his head. Colette. It was Megsy and her counsellor that got Harry on loads of drugs, calling it medical. Yes, I do believe you're right. There were stories back in the day saying that she had taken him off medication. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But these were the stories that were in the newspaper in the day. They said that she had taken him off medication and said that he was better off on herbal medicine. Remember that, Colette? And that he was having light and sound baths. And as soon as I heard that, I thought, I don't like the sound of any of that. I tell you what, if that was my boy, I wouldn't like the sound of any of that. That to me sounds like he'd been on medication and through a lot of therapy, and he'd come out the other side, and she just set him right back. Fraud land Duchess says, Fiona. Can William and Catherine file a harassment report against the clowns of Montecito and request they're not allowed to be around the royal family? I doubt very much they'd ever do that. They'd just go somewhere else. I suspect they will probably go to a far, far away land for the summer holidays, or they will go to the Scilly Isles, which are really inaccessible. I mean, it's not somewhere Harry and Meghan can just sneak into. People would see, people would know. Any guys who live in the Scilly Isles, you know that. People talk. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if William and Catherine, as soon as Harry lands, it will be, they're on holiday in the Scilly Isles. They'll make it their business to be like as far away as possible. That's what I would do if I were them, and it's what they've done in the past as well. La Pintura Bella. One, Harry, had paranoia heightened by certain whispers. In my opinion, perhaps assisted by certain substances and no outside threats, in my opinion. Exactly. But this guy, if it is true that he's paranoid, then he's paranoid because those thoughts have been put in his head somewhere. I mean, he's been in America, so it's not like he's been in England and he's seeing and hearing people threatening him all the time. The House of Sussex. Yes, Catherine looked absolutely fabulous today. Hi, Zephyr, TMTB, Nancy, Denise, Debs. Thank you all, mods. Colette. Kerry, stay home if you're scared. Yeah, well, I think Sykes is on some. I think that this is Meghan pushing the agenda, which is what makes me think, why is she pushing so hard? I mean, she's really, really pushing this guy into an absolute corner. She must be driving him. I wonder, TMM. I wonder. I wish I could highlight your comments, but I can't because I've got StreamYard on the phone and it's too small, and I've got YouTube on the desktop so I can read the comments. Brenda Tyrrell, I think is using the no security issue as a reason not to return to the UK with Harry, with the kids, but keep pushing H to ask for the unattainable. You could be right, Brenda. You could well be right. Yeah, Colette. Yeah, I'm definitely of that school of thought. Yes, Harry has made his life choices. What I'm talking about is a parallel universe where we're in the future and his life is no more. So there are no more life choices, and then it's down to, there will be people who think like me. I think there will be a lot of people who think like me and TMM and Colette and a lot of you guys. A lot of people are going to think that thing. You know the thing I'm meaning, don't you? A lot of people won't. And they'll play along with it and go, oh, she's crying, she's so upset. But a lot of people will. Lindwin. Harold Wilson and his wife loved going on holidays to the Scilly Isles, especially when he was Prime Minister. Sarah. Meghan Markle is not the only one pushing Harry over the edge. Do you think? Not. Who else do you think? Addie Cakes. Is totally fueling his paranoia for her own agenda. He needs to leave her immediately. Well, that brings me neatly on to the next subject. Now, this Althorpe thing. Yeah, Colette, they do like life insurance. The Althorpe thing. And also, why would Charles allow accommodation? Well, if the security services, hypothetically, were to get wind of any suggestion of stuff like this happening, and it is a nasty time of year, brings up nasty memories for the royals, if you know what I mean, from 1997. They might have thought, wouldn't it be a good idea to have them stay in accommodation so someone could at least try and talk to him, some kind of intervention? Do you see what I mean? Hi, Sue Smith. Do any of you think that is plausible, that Charles Spencer or the King might have thought, we've heard some crazy shit coming back from the security services, and there are some phone calls, and they have to have warrants for this type of thing. But if they have probable cause or they have concerns, if the King were to get a report that his younger son could be in danger of a drug overdose, just a drug overdose, not murder plot or anything, they might think, we want some kind of an intervention. We need to get a hold of Harry. We need to try. What do you think, Sue? Harry needs to get off the drugs. Well, yes, Sue. But I believe Meghan is encouraging the consumption, if indeed he is still on it. Sue, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that I don't think that there's any genuine risk to Harry outside of his marriage? Do you know what I mean? I think the greatest risks, and I do believe that a lot of people are killed by their life partner. I think that's a statistical thing, isn't it? Domestic issues, arguments, especially drug fueled. Is that an unreasonable thing for me to say on YouTube, Sue? I don't know. My granny says Harry's mental health issues go far back. Well, yeah, I mean, I think everybody saw it was never going to be an easy road for him, was it? Susan Shipton. I think Althorpe is Meghan's idea. She was trying to get film of the grave. The letters, yes, and I've heard Spencer said no. But Spencer, that could be a carrot. That could be a carrot. Because don't forget, Harry's got two families. Apart from his immediate Meghan and whatnot. He's got the Spencers and he's got the royal family. And if the Spencers were to get a whiff of this, the guy's losing his mind. He's so paranoid. He's full of drugs. He's having tantrums. He's bursting in. Those are the reports coming. It was Katie Nicholl. I knew, I didn't imagine that. It was Katie Nicholl in Vanity Fair that I read this morning, because I saw Mark Dolan said that. And in her article, she said that he's bursting into tears all over the place. And let's not forget, she was grilled on the the witness box. Harry accused her of phone hacking. St Elmo's fire. His Spencer aunts must be aware. Yes, exes. Juicy. If he is having a breakdown, what about those poor kids? Can you imagine them seeing their middle-aged father having a breakdown? Spruce Knob Mary, another good movie, dodging bullets. Sue Smith, here is a big problem. He needs to get everything in place before Pa dies. Once William is in charge, he's out. Yeah, but Sue, what if he dies like in the next month? Harry, I mean, of a drug overdose, for example, or some kind of a domestic incident fueled by drugs and alcohol. Yes, Colette, he could lose out on the kids through mental instability. Teresa Holton, it's the kids I feel sorry for. Johan Woods, Spencer's sisters would not allow any filming from her. No, but it could be used as bait, couldn't it? In order to, because I mean, I've never ever had a family member have intervention. Don't know if you guys ever have, but I watch these TV shows and I've seen it on YouTube where they do an intervention, and what they do is they set a scenario up where the person in question believes that, you know, it's just a family birthday or family gathering and that they don't realize what's about to happen. Right, SLS. Perhaps Harry should pass on Invictus in Birmingham and wait till it's held in Nigeria or Ukraine, where Has feels safe. Well, yeah. TMTB, it is very difficult to take his kids away from him entirely. Laura, I still doubt they'll bring the kids to the UK. I'd be surprised. Too much of a chance. I wonder if she will stay in hotels. I wonder. Nancy, if anyone needs a conservatorship, it's Harry, not Brittany. Well, Philomena, nobody has done a welfare check on those kids. Valid point. Just because they're rich and members of the royal family, that, you know, that there's kind of no exception, is there? Really? I wouldn't have thought in America that it would cut a lot of ice, would it? Brenda Goodwin, as long as MM is in the picture, life is in danger. I agree. From suicide, from being driven mental, from accidental overdoses, from all sorts. Yes. Maria, Harry is a mental case. They should put him in some kind of asylum and seek help. He's a very dangerous and evil person. Well, I mean, unless he's committed, hi Cammy, henpecked Harry is becoming even more toxic than hard-boiled Meg. Yeah. Maria, yeah, but unless he's done something under the mental health order, one of those acts, or he's committed a criminal offence, there's not much they can do. You know, he's an able-bodied man who can walk around. Carol, I've just called them all out on their podcast as a load of BS. Who? Tell me who? Who? Susan Shipton, Harry is also upset by the New York girls who implied they would break away from the royals, but they went to the wedding and Harry was shocked. If you look at what he said, he does not look himself. Has he spoken recently then? Because I haven't seen that. Sarah, make no mistake, King Charles has people watching over Harry. I believe so too. If push comes to shove, these people will intervene. Long as Meghan Markle is his wife, she has legal authority over his care. Yes, and that's the danger. The only person who has the power to remove himself from danger is Harry himself, isn't it? Yes, Johan, he did say that about the Taliban. Exes, Harry need help and no one wants to help because of the witch. It's a tricky situation, isn't it? Do you see what I mean? Stephanie, Harry is being controlled mentally and physically by methane. I genuinely believe so. Kate, hi Fiona, you were talking recently about yourself and Harry being jumpy. I started walking out of sleep in a panic when I was with my abusive ex. Markle has me on edge. Yes, I mean, I'm just a jumpy person. I always have been. You know, my sisters are the same. Someone walks in the room and we go, ah, you know, I don't know why. But for a man of his age and stature, who's been in the army, kinda, even though, you know, he won all those medals on Call of Duty and shit on his Xbox, it's still kind of weird. A man like that crying, jumping, falling apart. Those are the reports. And Harry, buffoon as he is, I'm not sure I entirely believe those reports. I think that's a little convenient for Meghan. You know, it's building a picture, isn't it? That's how it's coming across to me. And it really is. Hi, Grainy. We are all responsible for our poor mental health. And when it's not in our control, we don't notice. We need a loved one to catch us. Yes. Yes. And she don't care. I don't think she cares. Susie, allegedly, Child Protection Services have visited Montecito twice and found no evidence of children. I'm not sure. I mean, I take it all with a pinch of salt. Daniel Taylor, what happened to Harry's British stiff upper lip? Well, it went the same place as his cojones, didn't it? In her purse. Sarah, I'm jumpy when my cats walk in the room. Me and the cat are jumpy. You know, we hear a noise. I've got one of those ultraviolet mosquito killers, you know, electric light. And they make a hell of a noise when they fly into it at night. It's brilliant. I've hardly been bitten this summer, but it kind of goes pop, crackle, and me and the cat, every time it happens, we're like, what was that in the bedroom? And it's just, you know, it's a mosquito going to mosquito heaven. Sue Designs, he reminds me of a child that is so used to getting his own way, he can't tolerate that he's not getting what he wants. I don't think he knows what it's like to be told no. I think this is a new experience for him. That's why it's going on for so long. God, I mean, the way the guy's nagged over security, can you imagine what it was like having him in the palace? He'd ask his dad for something and go, can I have it? 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 You know, like that. Till the king goes, fuck's sake, give it to him. Just shut him the fuck up. Get him away from me. That's how he's behaving. The fact she is briefing the media worldwide that he is depressed, having a meltdown and crying. She's planning to expose violence, meltdown, leak, or she's building a picture for something else, or it's true. Lady Nim, there would be all hell if those kids were unavailable of illegal. Yeah, mosquito heaven. I hate those motherfuckers. Those mosquitoes, that drive me crazy. Let's bet she has life insurance on him. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I would hope that I mean, that would be the biggest port of call, wouldn't it? A ton of people write to all the life. I think there's actually only something like 4 insurance companies in the world, isn't there? And then they have sort of pyramids of brokers. But if people publicly started to ask awkward questions like, well, what's going on there? He looked all right last time I saw him. I'm not sure I believe this story. Doesn't take long for an insurance company to cotton on to that and go, hang on a minute, we want a few more answers. You know, they don't just hand money over, no questions asked. Mia, I believe Harry included that comment about the Taliban deliberately as a ploy to get upgraded security because of the potential risk. Yes, it was probably Meghan's idea. Yes, Denise. Mark Dolan said Harry was in tears. He got it from Katie Nicholl, who I read this morning, but then it went behind a paywall. Trophy Wife 91 says 5 and 43% were petulant children. They nauseate me. Me too. They infuriate. They make me really angry because I've had people in my life who kick off, and even when you give them what they want, it's not good enough. You know, Buckingham Palace was not good enough. It's not good enough. They're angry now. Apparently, hi Lindrick, Teresa. They're angry. They can't stay at Buckingham Palace now because they say the palace leaked it. Well, number one, I don't believe the palace leaked it. And number two, Buckingham Palace isn't good enough for them, for fuck's sake. These people, they're the kind of people you give them exactly, well, you give Meghan exactly what she wants, and it won't be good enough. It will never be good enough because she's got a whole other bag of mental illness, if you ask me. Lintrick, he just needs long Pilates plates, Plates, so he can say, I will scream and scream until I'm sick, as he's acting like Pippi Longstockings. Yes. Oh, plaits. No. Oh, yeah. Rosman, is Meghan getting ready to push Harry over the edge? Is she the stalker he should fear? She is his mother's stalker. She is his stalker. She said this is a woman who said I didn't know who Harry was. She didn't have Google. She never heard of the royal family. Then up pop ex-best friend, that Ninaki Pretty, pops up. Oh, she came on holiday with me and my family. There's a picture of us sitting outside Buckingham Palace. She had a copy of Morton's book. She watched Diana's wedding on video. She watched Diana's funeral on video. She's been studying Princess Diana. Then Meghan Kelly says she spoke to someone very close to Meghan, who said that she had one of those planning boards to bag Prince Harry, right? This is a woman who plans ahead, okay? So that I'm trying to stay ahead of the game here. To LaBelle, Tom Sykes is the one that leaked it on June 26th after a 3-day lead up. He was saying they're getting the palace. Well, I don't believe Tom Sykes would get that from the palace. I mean, I might be doing the guy a disservice, but I get the impression that all of these leaks that have been coming from Camp Sussex. I just can't. Why would the palace bother? They're kind of busy doing one or two other things. For fuck's sake, they're trooping. They have Ascot, they have Wimbledon. They've got a ton of events. They've got garden parties. They've got the Palace of Holyrood. They've got so many other things going. Why would the palace leak jack shit? And to what advantage? What, to earn a few coin? Fuck off. It's the fucking Sussex team that are leaking everything. They're just doing it. I bet Meghan's doing it via different people. That's what I think. Wendy Gunning. I've said for years that Harry is living with the paparazzi since he got married. Yes, sleeping with the enemy. I fear for his safety within his own 4 walls. I even wrote to the royal website to save him from the Black Widow. Thank you for saying that, Wendy. It's better for you to say it than for me to say it, if you know what I mean. I kind of feel like I've got the sword of Damocles over me over this one. But as you guys know, I'm interested in where is the story going, as opposed to let's just churn over a load of shite that's already fucking happened that we already know about, for goodness sake. Marlowe. Joanne Woods, yes, name smoked crack, allegedly. Joanne Woodward. Yeah, it was her, wasn't it? Let me just double check that. Because I can read, if I get a wiki page up, then you'll sort of see where I'm coming from. No, it wasn't Joanne Woodward. That was the actress. Anne. It was Anne Woodward. So, I'll read out her wiki page. She was born in 1915 and she died in 1975. Anne Eden Woodward was an American socialite, showgirl, model, and radio actress. In 1940, while working as a radio actress, she was voted the most beautiful girl on radio. That's a bit weird, isn't it? I mean, it's radio, so how would anybody know? Woodward became a prominent and controversial figure in New York high society after her marriage to banking heir William Woodward Jr. While never formally charged or convicted, she came under suspicion of murder following the 1955 shooting of her husband. Basically, they slept in different bedrooms. He got up in the middle of the night. She shot him dead and said she thought it was a burglar. But there was a lot before that. She was complaining about security. She was saying there'd been prowlers and stuff. You know, she was always on about security. And there was a big trial. I think there was, and her mother-in-law backed her up because her mother-in-law wanted to squash the scandal. And the shooting, right? Let's have a look at the shooting. In late 1955, there were a string of burglaries in the Woodwards neighbourhood in Oyster Bay. On the 30th of October 55, Woodward and her husband returned to their country estate after attending a party hosted by Florence Tucker Baker in honour of the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Both were nervous about reports of a prowler roaming nearby the estate. Sound familiar, like Harry and Meghan? The Woodwards, both avid hunters, each went to their separate bedrooms that evening with loaded shotguns. Doesn't everybody? A few hours later, according to Anne's telling of the events, she heard a noise on the roof and went into a darkened hallway carrying her gun. There she saw a shadowy figure standing in front of Woodward's bedroom door and fired the gun. The man she fired on was in fact her husband. The weapon was loaded with buckshot and should not have been lethal. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'd like to show my arse at a load of buckshot at close range. But an unexpected ricochet caused buckshot to enter William's temple, killing him. Upon arriving at the home, police found Anne holding her husband's body and sobbing. She immediately told police that she had shot her husband because she thought he was a burglar. A Nassau County grand jury declined to indict her after deliberating for 30 minutes, ultimately concluding the shooting was an accident. Police later arrested a man named Paul Worth, who admitted that he had attempted to break into the Woodwards' house on the night of the shooting. Worth claimed that he had been scared by the sound of the gunshots and then left. I mean, there have been like prowlers and stuff found in various properties of Meghan and Harry's, haven't there? It just sounds awfully familiar, doesn't it? Don't you think, guys? What do you make of that? And I've said this for years, actually. I've referred to the Anne Woodward case. Carol, Fiona, question. Surely if the FBI sent these papers to Hazza Security, don't they think they would have sent them to the Home Office and the King? I don't know, Carol. I think he probably sent them to Ravek. Nancy, one tear, left eye. Yes. In black. Yes. Yes. Teaspoon, my ex-fiance was a narcissist, and when I started realizing he had kind of cut me off from my friends when I said yes, he tried to cut me off from my family, I started fighting back. Yeah. It's one of those things I don't think people realize, that it happens bit by bit until you can't get out. Zephyr, if you're used to rounds going off, you're not afraid of the sound. Yeah, there's a whole other backstory behind that guy. I've looked into the Woodward thing. Kimmy Hill, oh, I forgot Kinsey. Yeah, she's the third I'm subscribed to. Yeah, I love Kinsey too. Katie Gill, Harry said himself, she is capable of anything. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. SLS. Harry feels safe in the USA, that had 19,796 so far in 2026, while England has had 575. JM Stars, we're on the same page. Yeah, I think a lot of us are on the same page. Rena, could the royal family intervene when Harry is over there and put him somewhere safe and get him sober? If they can get his cooperation, yes. That's the problem. Hi, Ava. You know, if they could get him to cooperate, that really is the problem. Yeah, I love Lady C and Kinsey Schofield. I love listening to all different perspectives. So I listen to a lot of the YouTubers if I've got time, if I have time. Lindy, I hope they will, Rena. Well, it will all, yes, Sharon, she will be Jackie 2.0. Oh, yes. Now you're on my wavelength. I'm so glad, I don't have to spell it out. You guys, you're on it. Absolutely, SLS. England is not a dangerous country. God's sake, I've just been to England. And not just to visit my daughter, I've been to central London. And I love it there. Temporary participant. Number 5150 equivalent over there. Carol, I wouldn't trust Meghan's cooking. Yeah, he could choke on a flour sprinkle, couldn't he? She could be totally innocent, and that would be awful, wouldn't it? We'd all be saying stuff. She'd be going, no, it was a flour sprinkle. Tia, hello and welcome. What did Corinne say, Mine? What did Corinne comes out with some brilliant stuff. Linda Darn, I missed the beginning. Did I miss anything breaking? Concern for Harry's safety, and we're not talking about outside threats. Let's put it that way. But no, you haven't missed too much. Catherine Ferguson, it was only a couple of weeks ago he was saying people had to get used to it. He wasn't going anywhere, and he said, I'm royal and people better get used to it. Yeah, do you all remember that? Joe A, maybe customs will confiscate them. Maybe. Christabel, I think H says he's safe in the US and guards carry guns, but so does the majority of the public. Lady near me does love his chocolate drink. Sigrid, I'll see it and then believe it. She will bail at the last minute. Well, I agree. My mind is open to anything. I'm not convinced that any of them will turn up. Not 100. I wouldn't put money on it. Do you know what I mean? If they do go to the UK, I'd put money on it. They'll stay in hotels or Althorpe. They're definitely going to Althorpe. His people, their people, apparently confirmed that. He wants his children to meet Diana. I mean, Cherry Cole, it's either Fiona or Avid. Doesn't matter. I don't mind. I mean, my father's mother died when she was younger than me. She died of pleurisy or something like that. And when I was 5, I don't remember my dad taking me to her grave. I was made aware that there was a family grave, but I was like 18 or some shit like that. You know, it wasn't like... Adele, Harry isn't safe with Meghan. Whatever children and or pets are there aren't safe with her, either for good measure. Well, I mean, they went somewhere. I think it was Invictus last year. And there was that little clip I put up of her. I think they were at an airport or something, where she looked up. And then she realised she was being filmed and went, oh, so you guys all remember that? Fucking scary that was. Hey, Becky's in the house. How are you doing? Cammy says the Harkles want all the freedoms of commoners with all the perks of royals. Denise Burnside, I'd have to shake down Meghan before she left my home if she stayed there. Linny, I agree. The kids have never been here. Adele, yes, I remember that. She had a mask slip and then saw the camera. Yeah, that was really, really scary. Smarting up. He's been refused the extra security, and he thinks the constant reporting by his WhatsApp reporters and breathless Dan Wootton and Tom Sykes will help to get it back. Well, I mean, Tom and Dan, they're reporting and they're journalists, but they're also entertaining. The fact that Harry or Meghan think that putting on some sort of circus is going to cut any mustard with people like Ravek, the Home Office, those kind of people don't give a shit. As we've seen from them being on the website. Which reminds me, I mean, I've been checking and there's been no updates yet. It just, all it says when I look at it is, I've got it up all the time. And I checked the one to the King. It says tracking number, origin Gibraltar, destination UK, en route. And the 2 events were that posting and collection on the 29th, which was at 11:55, which I did. And then on the 30th at 7:57, departure from Outward Office of Exchange, Gibraltar. So that's the sourcing office in Gibraltar. And then I've checked the Royal Mail, which says, yes, they're aware of the tracking number, but there's no information until it arrives in the UK. So what day was... We're on the 2nd now. It went to the sourcing office on the 30th. So, yeah, I suppose so. Thank God I did it on a Monday. think it was, yeah, I did it on a Monday. Is it Friday today or Thursday, guys? I can't remember. Because I was up very late last night with Denise Burnside and some other naughty people. And we were having a fucking riot on her channel. Oh my God. Any, I think you guys would really like her if you hop over to her channel. Feel free to drop the link, Denise. She reminds me a lot of Wally. A lot. It's Thursday, thank you, people. What would I do without you? Well, I wouldn't know what fucking day of the week it is for a start, would I? Teresa Holton. A&L are going to need a lot of therapy for their mental health and image. Imagine them living with H. Oh, I see A&L, the kids, who is loopy-goosey, and MM, who is evil woman with those poor kids. Yes, Denise is a very bad influence on me. If you want to see me being really... We're terrible. We get into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And don't be fooled if you go over to her channel and she's all like, oh, sweet. Oh, I'm just Denise. I'm cooking some pie today, because she's like that. And then the next minute she flicks into, you'll have to check her out and see what you think. Sally Terry, so sick of Harry, who's nothing but a paranoid idiot, who's doing too much drink and happy backy. And I would dare say one or two other things. TMTB. I've always thought that the family has told Harry that he must leave Meghan to get their support and begin earning their trust and acceptance back. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Charles Spencer or the royal family inviting him back I don't think it's a straightforward thing. I think it's more of a, right, let's say she turns up. Then she's turned up, basically, because she's fucking skint, she's got nowhere else to go. And she needs a photo op, and she needs to give her old as ever a bit of a boost. Like, that's ever going to boost anything. But in her little pea brain, that's... So if she does turn up, then they've kind of promised her something like that. But I don't believe, they don't give a toss about her as ever. They give a toss about family members, Harry and these two children, however they came to be. Corrine, he needs a new woman. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Debs has dropped Denise's link. If any of you guys want to check her out. But fuck me, she did a 7-hour live last night. We were up. I didn't go to bed until 5:30 in the morning, my time. I just couldn't look away. It was awesome. Yeah, she says, Zephyr, I know the devil makes me do it. She is a really naughty person. Sherry Cole, Charles Spencer didn't invite the Harkles to their is that Arizona wedding? Well, actually, I've seen rumours Harry was in Arizona at that time. It's just they didn't make a hullabaloo or a fuss. So there could have been a secret family, thingamajigamy. Tampa guy. Harry has destroyed every relationship and every bridge. Yeah, I know. Try telling him that. Fucking hell. The guy's daft in the head, isn't he? It's like being in a panto, isn't it? And the bad guy's behind him, and we're all going, he's behind you. And every time he turns around, Meghan's moved to another side. That's what it feels like. Beverly, Megsy made Hazza get rid of the pair of Purdy's he was given by Philip. So it would be strange if she had a gun. Wasn't suggesting a gun, but yeah, remember the Purdy's? Yeah, they're Purdy's. Handmade, they were inherited, they were given to Philip by, I can't remember, his father, uncle, something like that. And he gave them as something touching to give to Harry, and Harry sold them while Philip was alive. But somebody, I think the guy who bought them paid £50,000, and I heard a rumour that they were then purchased off the guy. So either William or the Queen or Philip bought the guns back, and the royal family must have thought, this fucking woman, who is this fucking woman that he's marrying? C. Coville, Megsy won't let Harry go alone as she's afraid the royals have a plan. Megsy will lose her control. Oh yeah, Megsy wants to stay in control the whole time. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking if she does go at the hotel. And when he loses the mail court case, watch the meltdown. Oh yes, we've got that coming up very soon. In fact, somebody in the comments said today that they'd heard on the lowdown. So I don't know if they mean that they actually work at the court. I got the impression they kind of do. I was going to pin their comment, and then I thought, no, I'd better not, because that might get them into trouble. But they said they'd heard on the lowdown that the decision is going to come out even earlier than that. You know, perhaps today, tomorrow. But I'm sure we'll all get, yeah, I think it's going to be before the 7th of July, Debs. Could be tomorrow. If today is Thursday, then by my powers of deduction, tomorrow is Friday, isn't it? Dodging bullets. If Markle comes to the UK, hide your jewels and purses and wallets and children. Market Garden is in the house. And Lisa. Harry has adopted MM's strategy. Keep grinding on, wear the opponent down. Well, has he or hasn't he? Because all we ever get is Harry's statement. Harry said this. It'd be like if it were me. They go, Fiona said this, Fiona said that, but you never actually saw me say it or heard me say it. It could be anybody in a PR team saying that. Amanda Macmillan, court decision will be Tuesday. Well, we'll see. Might come before that. Might come. You never know. Yes, Colette, he will keep losing against the Crown. So will Meghan. Everybody does, because that's an entire country. It's a group of countries of the Commonwealth. It's a system. It's a 1,000-year-old institution. So many have tried before and failed. Smarten it up. I can't wait for the judge to rule against him. It's going to be delicious as long as, you know, that is what the case is. And Neil Sean thought the verdict would be this week, according to his sources. Right, that is interesting. Marlo, it's Meghan's voice through Harry's voice. Yeah, or it's just Meghan releasing puff pieces. I've still got to read out that Kaiser article, which is, it's really, really strong. And I'm pretty convinced that either Meghan, her PR, or some shit like that writes for that Kaiser. That group, I think they're on Reddit. Saint Meghan Markle. They have their own theories on who that Kaiser is. I know because a few people who are members. Tom Sykes said it would be Wednesday or Thursday this week. Well, with a judge's ruling, well, I've had them, but it's here in Gibraltar, and it was magistrates. The judge basically wrote to me and wrote to the other party, and I won. So I would imagine that, you know, it's possible the ruling's been made and that all parties have been told. And if no parties want to talk about it, then that means no parties are entirely happy with the decision. Not the Mail and not Harry and Meghan. So I don't know. Texas Whimsy. Harry's the equivalent of a kid in the back seat asking, "Are we there yet?" over and over and over without taking a breath. Yes. All that did us was my father pulling over and stopping. Truth smiles. Oh, you like the impersonation the other day. Hetty B. Maybe the narrative is being laid down so she can get custody. Make him appear mentally ill, the way Amber Heard tried to do with Johnny Depp, or something worse. Hetty. Perhaps not custody. There are many ways of getting custody, aren't there? There's court cases and there's surviving parent. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you think I'm overstepping the mark a little bit here. Donna Styles, he is so weak, such a whiner. He never stops, and Meghan whines and cries. What a mess he's made for himself. Do you know what, Donna? If he was on medication and he'd been through therapy, right, and she took him off that and said, well, you can just have drugs. You can just take whatever drugs you like. Heroin, whatever. Well, that's full control, isn't it? That's what some men do to get women onto prostitution. They get them hooked on drugs, and then they can do what they like. That would certainly be an explanation to all of us, wouldn't it? Speaking hypothetically, of course. Yeah, probably why Harry's throwing massive tantrum. JM Stars, Fiona, why don't we have a summer ball like Lady C? I was hoping for a party when H dumps M, but what the hell, why don't we all have a summer party? Anyway, it would be awesome. I think we'd have to have several. We were talking about this on Denise's channel, and I was suggesting that we could do it in Vegas in America, or we could do it in Birmingham in England, because Birmingham's kind of central, or Norfolk. Norfolk is nice, and we find somewhere cheap, you know, and we could all go hang out and have a party. Lisa, she's a scary person. She scares the shit out of me, yeah. Sally Terry, Harry's weak, just like his father, who should have stopped their shenanigans. I mean, there have been drug addicts before Harry in the royal family. They had a heroin addict, one of David's brothers. I can't remember his name. And it was a woman who they called the woman with the silver syringe or something, who got him hooked on heroin. And David tried a lot of things to get him off it. And I think Bertie did as well. Lady C's talked about it. Johan Wood, yes, she'd rather be a widow instead of divorcee. I'm sure you might say that, Johan. I couldn't possibly comment, or I'll get in a lot of shit. Susie Lindy, what is Ms. Markle's end intention? Indeed. Well, that's what we're trying to get to the bottom of tonight. Yeah, I think it was Prince George, yes. David and Wallace used drugs. I didn't know that. Jeez, you know, I'm really wet behind the ears. I did not know that. Charlie Cole. I heard he was tested too, as his behaviour was so abusive to others since a toddler. Possible. Becky. You could call it the Megxit Megaball. We could have the first one in Gibraltar, Bex. Just you and me. Although, actually, do you know what, Becky? Flights from the UK are so damn cheap. Do you know, it's cheaper for us guys to fly from Gibraltar to the UK than it is for example, if I were going to get a train from Brighton to Manchester, it cost me hundreds. Whereas, you know, I can jump on a flight for 20 quid. So we could do it here, and all the people in the UK could come here. We could do it this side of the border, which is even cheaper. Well, I say this side of the border. Border's going. What's the date? We've got 13 days, less than 2 weeks to go until that border's officially gone. Fraud land Duchess. Wonder if Shabana end up cancelling the games after H insulted the Muslim community by claiming terrorism against him. I'm not sure. Shabana, right? She's the Home Secretary, yeah? I'm not sure that the Home Secretary's got the power to cancel. Invictus is like a private event. It's a private charity, so it's up to them. But I mean, really, Invictus should say to Harry, please don't come. If the risks are that, you know, that bad. Oh, you're making a potato salad, Diane. I love potato salad. Yeah, Rhonda, we'd have a ball. Oh, it would be great. Do you think Vegas sucks, Zephyr? Where's a cool place in America that everybody could get to? What about camping? Camping convention. Then everybody just brings a tent. Because in America, it's such a big country. You guys don't have to have a campsite, do you? You just pitch up in the woods. We can't do that. Well, we can here in Spain, but in the UK, they're not keen on it. You've got to pay and stay on a campsite. Zephyr, I love ensalada russo. That's what we eat down here a lot. And I like it with alioli instead of mayonnaise. Lisa, I'll make barbecue ribs. Yeah, we could do a big camping trip in the United States of America. Maybe that, is it called the Appalachians or something? It would get eaten by bears or some shit like that. Camping, California or Oregon for that. Just watch for the bears. Yeah. Yeah, isn't the bear the state animal for California? Oklahoma has a lot of nice lakes, yeah? Yeah. Where were those, you know those Friday the 13th films? The kids on the campsite. Where was that based in America? We can go to Scotland and do some reeling. We certainly could, Denise, but it's quite expensive getting up to Scotland. Daggy, Palm Springs. Not so much free camping in the US. Live in Appalachia and it is magical. I would have thought in Appalachia then there's loads of places. Do you know, my cousin, he built a log cabin in Canada. And I said to him, where'd you get the trees from? And he said, I just went and cut them down. And I said, did you not have to ask the landowner? And he went, no, I just went out in the middle of nowhere and chose a tree and cut it down. And I'm like, oh my God, that can't be legal, because it was the 1960s. And he said, everybody does it. It's Canada's vast. Stephanie Fox, I think the Israeli team would need good protection in Birmingham Invictus Games. Big Muslim community there. Yeah, good point. Fraudulent Duchess, Fiona Meggsy, wanted to be a star of her coming to the UK own script. Instead, it's a mess. Yes, it is a mess. The whole thing is a fucking mess. Grace, just getting used to this live chat larky. I'm a newbie, but watched you for years. You're never far off from the truth, Fiona. Well, I don't think any of us are. I think it's like, feels like stating the bleeding obvious, because before we had the internet and YouTube, we had to sit and look at some idiot on the telly when we could clearly see there's a big problem. They go, oh no, everything's fine. And we were probably all sitting at home going, well, we can see everything is not fine. No, everything's fine. Yeah. And they just talk bullshit, wouldn't they? Now these days we can compare notes. You grew up in Goose Creek. Diane, Banff. Yeah, Banff. I've never been, but my gran had a friend that she worked with at Boots who lived in Banff. And yeah, the pictures from there, absolutely gorgeous. Faith's at home. She's, because they cut the garden back, they found a tortoise at the bottom of the garden. And they're like, what the hell? Where the hell did that come from? And she's gorgeous. It's a female. And she's quite substantial. She's filmed a little bit of it on a video. And they realised, of course, it's a pet. Well, they escape, don't they? They're diggers, like rabbits. So they went up and down the street knocking on doors, and they found the owner, and they said, it's a lady tortoise, and she's 25 years old, and she escapes a lot. And she's probably, in all honesty, been going into their garden for quite a while. It's only because it's recently been cut back that she was exposed and they saw her. She's probably getting really active because the weather's so hot. Yeah, they just let it crawl around. I said to them, for God's sake, don't let Riley see that. Fucking hell. Yeah, 25 years old, Denise. Apparently she's got her 26th birthday this year. CHW, any word on Royal Road since Venezuela earthquake? I know he doesn't live there anymore, but he usually has really consistent. I didn't know. I subscribed to him, but I haven't watched him because he doesn't pop up on my feed. I didn't think. Yes, isn't it awful? Venezuela. Fucking hell. Do you think so, Zephyr? You think the tortoise was looking for a boyfriend? I don't know, because they've got a little paddling, well, I say little, they've got quite a big paddling pool now in the garden for the kids. And we're on the patio, which I cleared a stinging net. Also, oh God, I'm so glad that they have that, because I didn't realise we were going to have all these solar flares and all this hot weather this summer, so I'm double glad. And Braden bought a barbecue as well. He got a barbecue for 40 quid. Quite a nice one, actually. And Faith was like, oh, he's really getting into the garden now, so... Sweltering in Greenville. It's sweltering everywhere. Right, had enough. Harry and his handler need bringing to heel. They are both deluded beyond words. Now we have him making up terrorist threats to try force the government into giving him security. Yes, I know. It's your ears do not deceive you. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, when is this crybaby going to shut the fuck up? And he's actually endangering himself, and so is she, by going, we've got no security. We're vulnerable. Come and get us. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you haven't got security. Shut the fuck up. Stop telling the world you haven't got security. There's probably some loony right now, like in that film, The Burke. He's got a phone book and he's like, I want to kill somebody tomorrow. Harry, he'll do. You know what I mean? He's got no security. He'll be easy. Or there'll be one of those people who wants to be famous. How can I be famous? Well, I could work hard and achieve something, or I could just kill someone famous, and then I'll be famous. Like Lee Harvey Oswald, although we all know he didn't really do it, did he? And all that Jack Ruby nonsense. I ain't buying none of that shit. You're not going to pull in the wool over my eyes. Oh my God, you guys have got to see Denise's channel. She has all kind of crazy guests up on that. Well, not crazy, lovely people, but we all lead different lives, don't we? Right, now I'm getting me out of the comments. Focus, Fiona. Oh, Brenda, the midges in Scotland. You are not wrong. People, if anyone thinks mosquitoes are bad, the midges. They live in the heather, and you tread on a tuft of heather and a cloud of them comes out. They're tiny. I think they live for 24 hours, and millions of them bite you. Sandy Laws. Stayed at Loch Tummel. Loads of midges. Oh my God, yes. And in the morning, because my parents had a house in Scotland, the windowsill just covered with them. Absolute millions of them. Tens of thousands of them. Cammy, yep, Marlo, it worries me because tropical storms usually follow sweltering heat in a week or so. Well, Faith told me, hi, Demelza's here. Faith told me that with the heat wave, they've had this peculiar lightning, like plasma lightning and really loud bangs and stuff. I said to her, did you video it? And she went, no, because I'm short of sleep because I've got a newborn baby. And I'm like, oh, okay. I missed all of that. I love a thunderstorm. I really do. Yeah, TMDB, those fucking midges. They're evil. They are sent from Satan. I'm telling you. Avon's Skin So Soft is the best midgie repellent you can get. Does it actually work, Debs? Lim MSD. Hello, New Jersey. Christine Haggart, Avon Skin Soft, so that sorts them out. I'm not sure I believe Debs about that. They're little bastards. They're awful, the midges. They really are. They're absolutely awful. Katie Bates, I love a thunderstorm too. In fact, there's thunder music, isn't there? And all those kind of videos you can go to sleep to. I love all that stuff. Rena, if that was my tortoise, I would write my phone number on the back. What a brilliant idea. I never thought of that. That is actually an excellent idea. And they could put the name of the tortoise. Hello, I'm, I don't know, Patricia, the tortoise. Oh, is football on tonight? Is it football? I just heard beep, beep, and they go crazy here in Spain. They love football. Becky, it really works. Does it, girls? Does it? I mean, I think you girls are from either central Scotland or I don't think you're from the Outer Hebrides, are you? Because I guarantee you, those midges in the Outer Hebrides are 1,000 times worse than any other midges in Scotland because they're hardy midges. They have to put up with all those, Atlantic storms coming in 10 times a day. Because in the Outer Hebrides, the weather can be lovely. It's like this, hot, sunny, and then you actually see a storm physically coming in. It moves over, batters the shit out of everybody, and then it's hot sun again in the summer. And those midges, they got biceps and shit. They are awful. We tried everything, even setting fire to our own skin and shit. Fucking nothing stopped them. Positive thinker. I think Marcus Anderson could be pushing Harry as well. Right, yeah, because I was asking, I think it was Carol earlier, because she said it's not just Megsy. I think, yes. See, this is what happens, brainstorming as a group. Yeah, you're East Coast, aren't you? Yeah, they were everywhere, annoying. Yeah, but did you have a lot of heather, Bex? You tread on some heather. You just got these, and you just can't get away from them. They follow you wherever you go. Oh, it's awful. Biting you. Oh, you're Loch Lomond, Christine. Loch Lomond is gorgeous. In fact, all the water in Scotland is just so clear. Spain kicked off an hour ago, Lintrick. Okay, so did they? That sounds like maybe they got close to scoring a goal, because when you'll hear it. If Spain score a goal, you'll hear screams, horns. It'll be like a tsunami warning is happening. In fact, we probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Annie, I recently heard the Skin So Soft works. Okay, all right. That's 3 people who've said that. I'll take your word for it. If I ever go to Scotland, I'll slather myself in it. But it's only in the summer, isn't it, guys? You don't get them in the winter. We never used to go. Well, my parents lived up there originally, eventually. But hi, Fiona Gardner. You're going to get accused of being me. Look, guys, no hands. Fiona Gardner. Seriously, Fiona, the Avon is so soft. It really works in the Highlands. Well, then, if you're from the Highlands, I'll take your word for it, because Yeah, you got them up there. Do you know the Cluny Inn, Fiona? We stayed at the Cluny Inn once. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was years ago. I don't know if it even still exists. Rhonda, plant lavender and lemongrass to repel mosquitoes. Yeah, but the problem in Scotland, in the Outer Hebrides, is planting things is really difficult. Very peaty soil, lots of storms and so. What's Becky saying that's making you laugh? Whenever we went up the glens, the muddies were waiting on us. My granny used to make my granddad smoke his pipe all the time to try and make them leave. Yeah, do you remember those stupid little rings? My dad used to get them and you set fire to them and they give off a bit of smoke. He put like one in the awning and they don't work. Yeah, I remember that in the 1970s. He'd go, you won't get it. My mum would spray this horrible shit all over me, all over my lips. And I'll be like, oh my God, what the hell was that? And it didn't work. The mosquitoes were like, oh yeah, I love that stuff. Made them even worse. You're rooting, Cammy's team won last night. I'm rooting for Croatia against Portugal because Cristiano Ronaldo ego is so insufferable. Yeah, wasn't it that years ago he got a big tax bill off Spain? So he played for another country and then he kicked the shit out of Spain at the football or something like that. Yes, those smelly coil things, Rhonda. Yeah. Gillian, I love Kinsey too. What's not to love about Kinsey? And she's come such a long way and she shows such an interest in the royal family. That's what I love about her. Years ago, she wasn't quite sure because she's a big time entertainment journalist. So she was covering lots of things and she's kind of become specialist in the royal family and she wasn't sure what was going on and she wasn't sure if Meghan was nice or not at first. And some of us, perhaps a little unfairly, had her down as a bit of a Meghan lover. But she cottoned on pretty damn quick and she sniffed Meghan out. She was on Meghan in a shot. Right. Jamstars, weather is so hot on Jib. I nearly passed out when we came in 2020. We parked just outside in the car park. Well, JM Stars, it's 10 times worse at the moment than it normally is. It seriously is. It's really bad. In fact, the last few years, I haven't really been out in the sun at all. I mean, this tan, this is a leftover from years from working at sea. Because I'm an old sea dog, you see. Tracy Rogers, burn coffee grounds. The smoke repels mosquitoes. I didn't know that. They hate that citronella. That works quite well. Or my electric light downstairs. That's working a treat. Fiona, SSS is blend of sparkling citrus lavender and white lily that dries down into a classic woodland scent. If it doesn't repel insects, then maybe you can capture woodsman. Yeah. I mean, the mozzies just haven't been that bad. Benji and his girlfriend were complaining about them. And I said, you've got to wash the garden down and you've got to water the plants. There's a couple plants that have these kind of leaves that catch water, And if you don't flush that water every couple of days, the water gets a bit stagnant and that's where they live. And I said to him, and there's decking and they'll live under there. Any leaves, any debris. So I said, that's why I hose the garden. I water all the plants and I hose everything down and they're gone. And they haven't been doing that. And then when they realise, they wash it down. I said, otherwise, they thrive. They'll be all over the house. What a conversation we're having. We're supposed to be saving Harry's life, people. How does your cat cope with the heat? She copes fine. It's all right downstairs, actually. It's really cool. In the winter, it's nice and warm downstairs, and in the summer, it's really cool downstairs, and my bedroom's the coolest. Plus, she sits on the large armchair, and she has a big fan, and she has iced water. I think she's probably one of the few cats on planet Earth who has iced water. My mum used to spray that off all over me when I was a child. By the time I was an adult, they said it caused cancer. Oh, I didn't know that. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh God, you guys are still talking about insects. Midges are marginally more annoying than Harry. Oh, imagine a billion little Harrys all fucking biting you. Harry can't be saved. He's like an addict. He is an addict, Cammy. He is. And I don't think he's going to be alive much longer. That's my genuine belief. Don't be surprised if you see similar headlines to his mother quite soon. The money's run out, Hollywood slammed the door shut. Nothing's working for them, as ever's in the toilet. Just saying, speaking out loud. You're coming to Seville in December, hoping the weather will be mild. Yeah, it'd be quite nice then. In the US, CHW, all the kids' softball teams use Skin So Soft. Mum's put it in a spray bottle. We have a thing down here called jungle juice, which everybody swears by. I've never bought it. Oddly enough, we used to get a lot of mozzies. Graham was an absolute magnet for them. So then I'd get bitten, but now it's just me and the cat. Don't really get them. Yeah, citronella. I don't like the smell of it, though. It sort of reminds me of stuff that cleaning ladies used to use in bathrooms and toilets in the 1970s. I put ice in my Shih Tzu's water bowl. Oh, there you go, you and me both. I can't believe you guys. I agree with you, Harry. Drugs, not threats. Yeah. Smarty Chase as never is in the toilet until she has to upstage Catherine, then she has products launched galore. Yeah, but they're not making any money, are they? That's the problem for her. Da Lovely. Please can someone explain how they have 9 million home in Portugal if everyone says they're broke? Well, no one knows for sure they are in Portugal. They said they're in Portugal. Do you know, I knew a couple once who pretended they went to go and see the Northern Lights and they didn't. They hid in their apartment because people saw them because they were skint, but they didn't want everybody knowing they were skint. And then they put fake tan on and stuff, made out they'd been skiing, and shit. And everyone knew it was shit and everyone was laughing at them behind their backs. In Gibraltar. I'll tell you later, Becky, who that was. It was fucking hilarious. They were absolutely broke. They went, I've been to see the Northern Lights and it was lovely, cost us thousands of pounds. It was to basically keep the creditors at bay, to protect, because people were talking. They were like, they owe a lot of money here, there and everywhere. People do this kind of shit. They fake shit. Keep them creditors at bay. Oh, dearie me. I wonder what Experian and Equifax would think of Harry and Meghan. Burnt toast, Lisa. I suppose the smell is better than the bite, Joa. I suppose. Catherine looked sensational today. And what a down-to-earth lady, handing out tickets and she doesn't need to have all the stalls cleared because she's so, clear my eyeline, I'm so important. She doesn't need to do that like Megsy, Smagsy. Yeah, it could be a timeshare, Tracy. Portugal could be a timeshare. You can get some pretty cheap places in Portugal. Lovely. Is it really possible to fake they are in Portugal? Isn't that nuts? I mean, I could book an Airbnb right now. I'll bet you for about €100 in Portugal. There are some pretty remote places in Portugal. There are around here. And those are the kind, do you know what? That airline hijacker that I used to know, he was big into cracking safes as well. He was in the Royal Engineers, had to do national service. So that gives you an idea of how old he was. Pete Macari, if you want to look him up, and found out afterwards he's a bit of a serial killer. He's dead now. I always wondered why the police used to say to me, did you stop going visiting his boat, Fiona? He had a boat full of concrete, put concrete in the bottom. And now, on reflection, I'm beginning to wonder. Anyway, he was into cracking safes and stuff. And I said to him, because he was into security and stuff, I said, where's the safest place to put your money, Pete? And he said to me, oh, that's easy. The safest place to put anything is where nobody else knows it is. And that's from an airline hijacker and a guy cracking safes. So if Harry and Meghan were going to stay somewhere like Portugal, the safest place is where nobody knows, isn't it? In the middle of nowhere. Which is why if they do turn up at Althorpe, I bet they've been right royally pissed off at us lot for guessing it was Althorpe. That was an educated guess, wasn't it? And a good one. Yanks would love to go to Nazar, Portugal, to see the waves. Oh, right. I don't know where that is. I used to live in the Algarve. I lived in, we lived in Luge. You know, I mean, it's a funny old sausage of a place for Harry and Meghan to choose with kids. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure Luge is not like that these days, but we lived in Luge. I didn't like it. I thought it was very creepy. So we moved further down the coast to a place called I think it was called Sangre, or the equivalent of blood. I'll look it up on the internet. And I mean, it's lovely. I mean, you can buy all kinds of places in the middle of there. Yeah, I think it was called something like Sangre. Oh god. And we were there for a couple of years. Sagres, that's right, Sagres. I'd show you on the screen, but I haven't got the, I can't do screen shares. Sagres. It's just a bit further along. Now I've bloody lost you. Oh, there you are. Ashley, I honestly feel that Harry is making this scenario up because now, with a lot of his charities forward and all his treatment to the real vets, he's afraid that someone will confront him. I wonder, Ashley, that is a theory. That is a bloody good theory, isn't it? It's like, oh, I'm embarrassed. Or, what about this theory? Invictus have dumped him. So he's pretending. He might say, oh, I'm not going for their safety because they'll get a terror attack if I go. What about that for a theory? Ashley, England's only interested in one Harry and his second name is Kane. Harry Kane, I don't know who that is. I'm so out of date. Hi, Tuppence. Spain versus Austria footy. Well, I've got to cheer Spain on, It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Invictus is done with her. I wonder, Zephyr, do you guys think Harry's been dumped by Invictus? So he's making a big fucking fuss. Plus, he knows the judgment's coming out. So he's thinking, I've got to get out this. Don't want to go UK now. Don't want to fucking do it. So he's got to come up with some massive, massive tantrum. How's that for a theory? Patricia, yes, he definitely needs intervention. Old school. Neither one or two people like Harry live for this self-inflicted drama. He will live to persist in his misery. Yeah. Somewhere in Indiana, I'm concerned he's not safe from himself. That's really the only threat he faces. Yeah, you could well be right. Cookie Kitty. They dumped him. If not, they're stupid. I agree. It's not something he's going to shout from the rooftops, is it? If he's been dumped by Invictus, perhaps they couldn't put the bums on seats. Oh, Harry Kane is English 3 Lions captain. Okay. I wonder, Johan. It certainly would be an explanation, wouldn't it? Midnight Hero 64. It's not right to lay this blame. We don't know. I do believe emotional blackmail. He wants IPP security to cover him. And for what is coming out, people will be shocked. He knows what's coming about. Him panic. Pauline, it out to date from Dick Eaton, a WhatsApp group set up by Sussexes only for selected journalists. Yeah, I know. I noticed that a day or two ago. Yeah, there's a few people have been referring to this WhatsApp group that the Sussexes use. Oh, Mary, it's over 100 Fahrenheit. What's that in centigrade? Hi, Carol Philbeck is a number 2. And I guess she's watching further back, so hopefully she'll catch up to my theory. I hope you guys understand why I don't want to spell it out in my usual nefarious way, if you know what I mean. He could, Diane, do you know what? If there's a headline saying he's stepped down from Invictus, I call bullshit. I call he's fired. If Spain score, you will hear a lot of noise. Yes. Yes. And last time there was I don't know if it was World Cup, I think it was, and it was England and Spain won. Me and Graham were downstairs, and I couldn't believe how I really got into a football match because I hate football. Graham was cheering for England, and I was cheering for Spain. And every time Spain scored, and they were quite cheeky. They've got some pretty aggressive players, Spain. And, I was making such a lot of noise going, yes! And Graham was like, stop rubbing it in. Come on, England. Come on, England. So, but let's see. England, it seems to me, quite often gets to the semi-finals, which is, that's a huge achievement to get to the semi-finals. But they just 1966. Come on, England. And don't anybody sing the damn song. It's the curse of all curses, isn't it? What about that guy who got a tattoo saying it's coming home 2021 or some shit like that? I was like, oh my God, if they don't win, you got to live with that forever, man. Oh, they're tooting away. I'm going to Google it. I've got to know now. And of course, I can watch it on the telly. No, it's 0-0 at the moment. So I think this is a live thing. I'll keep an eye on that. If we hear any noise, I'll double check it. The first suspect is the spouse. Thank you, Alexandra. You've saved me from, a dilemma because I wanted to handle this one rather delicately. But yes, you're right. On all the cop shows that I watch, they always say that they look at the spouse first. No, I'm not sportscasting. I don't know anything about football. No score yet, Juliet. No. Invictus will have to throw him out. He's too ignorant and arrogant to leave on his own. Yes, Rhonda. So if he says, oh, I've stepped down for the good of Invictus, then I will call bullshit. Bullshit. And it will come out. Hi, Dave Murphy. Where have you been, man? How's your thunderstorms? Dave Murphy there's two Dave Murphys, right? There's David Murphy, who's a lady, and there's Dave Murphy, who's a dude, and he's in Australia, and so they were having huge storms last night. Has left that meeting all upset in his one car without blues and twos. He was let in the visitors' entrance. Yeah, and what you mean, the one with Charles? And it's rumoured that Charles said he just doesn't listen. He's not listening. Remember that? Mary, oh my God, Fiona, Meghan did something to him. But yes. Wouldn't be difficult, would it? Actually, Wally used to say that to me because I've talked about this for years, and she said, actually, fentanyl is so dangerous that she said you could easily, if someone is a user and that's going to be in their system, I don't know if it shows up in hair and stuff because I know some people grow their hair out because they don't want like the root to have any. And she said to me, a couple extra drops would do the trick. That was what Wally's money was on. Midnight Hero. I don't know if you peeps believe in speaking things into existence. I do. And have seen it so. I would worry what we speak into existence. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, Midnight Hero. That I think that's where the expression walls have ears come from. And this has happened to me so many times. Just one example, our last boat, we were sailing down this river, and it was the first time we'd taken the boat out. And Graham said to me, everything was fine. And he said, I hope it doesn't pack up. I've got it on video, him saying it. I hope it doesn't pack up. And I said, don't say that, it'll happen. And guess what? So, yeah. Beverly, if they are in Portugal, they are probably borrowing Eugenia's place as she'll be in the UK as she's due soon. Maybe. Hair longer than 30 days, Diane. Yeah. Yeah, I've known people who say that they need to stay clean and straight because they've got hair root tests and they need something like 8 weeks growth or something. I know people who've said that. So nurses have to be very careful apply and taking off fentanyl patches. Whoa, it's that sensitive? Diane Ramos, I believe that King Charles is making a big mistake. It's too late. Well, I mean, so how difficult is it for Harry to just take his kids to see his father? He could have done that quietly at any point over the last few years, couldn't he? Why make this big hullabaloo? And he'll regret it, like he regrets that he wouldn't stay and talk to Diana on the phone. Like I bet he regrets that he missed out on Prince Philip. Like I bet I'm certain he will regret he missed out on Queen Elizabeth because he was having yet another tantrum over Meghan. It's always her. And he will ultimately, and his children, most likely end up missing out on Charles. That there's no telling him. Linda Law, I do the same with cars. My dad always asked if the car was running okay. I'd say, don't ask. Car can hear you. Yeah. It's therefore the patches are low and slow into your system. It's everything else that will take you out. Does it lower your the immune system then, Zephyr? Oh, Diane, that's why Brittany cuts her hair off at times. Oh, okay. That makes sense, I suppose. Colette, fentanyl is as lethal as ketamine. Ketamine, I know. I mean, the first time I heard about this ketamine stuff, horse tranquilizer, I don't know if you guys remember our friend Ben, Mr. Bond. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind me telling you this story. Me personally, I've never taken cocaine or only drugs I've ever taken in my life. And this is cranberry juice, another cranberry juice officer angel, is cigarettes, tea, I suppose, and I smoked a couple joints, more than a couple joints, when we lived in Holland. But Ben, Mr. Bond, he said he was running a nightclub. Some woman came in and she put what they thought were a load of lines of cocaine on the bar and a straw. And she said, help yourselves, which they did. So he has a line. So does his colleague. And suddenly he said the world slowed down. And he said it was like, and this woman and another man emptied the tills in front of them. And he said there was not a goddamn thing we could do. We couldn't move. We thought it was cocaine. We had no idea it was ketamine. Oh, Cherry Cole, you wash your hands immediately, even if you use gloves. Really? Shit. Zeph, the patches are a 72-hour pain release, but by mouth can be lethal and not normally given. So Zeph, a couple drops on the old salad, that'll do the trick, wouldn't it? Sue, fentanyl patches are given to cancer patients for pain, very strong pain relief. Lynn, MSD, Coke never did anything for me in the 70s. I've never tried it, ever. I mean, it's just never my thing. Colette, ketamine was used to put horses down. Only a doctor can administer it in people in the UK. Well, I don't think that Mr. Bond was going to a doctor for a prescription. These things. I don't think he'd ever had it before. I think it, completely shocked him. Most street drugs have fentanyl in them now. You have to be very careful. Shit. That's, do you see what I mean? How easily it could happen. I do remember Wally saying, that would concern her. That would be a very easy thing to happen. Mary, you guys make me laugh too. Bank tellers in Florida had to wear gloves as they had become addicted from handling drug money. Yeah, there was someone who said every £20 note we handle has got a cocaine on it. Ketamine. Never take anything that strangers offer you. No. Ketamine killed Matthew Perry. What? Oh, was it ketamine? And he was in the jacuzzi, wasn't he? Water, a combination of the two. Good grief. Yes, of course, BPAP. So Meghan is behind his paranoia. There's evidence of it in the Netflix show itself, isn't there? June, hello. Hi, my husband, ex-household cavalry mounted regiment. They had to give ketamine to the horses to calm them, to sore hoofs, etc. Well, the vet did. My husband is life-threatening to human life. Yeah, well, of course, it's going to be a much smaller dose, isn't it, for a human than a horse? Linda Law, if you've had your leg amputated at the side of the road, you'll be given ketamine unless you can properly anaesthetize. Oh, goodness. JM stars. Seriously, I heard that Shadow 5 was blown up to stop more coming out about Louis Mountbatten being a such and such. Well, I haven't actually followed the story of Louis, but I never, ever, ever bought into it that it was the IRA. I know they claimed credit, but I never bought into it. If any of you guys have ever seen a TV series called House of Cards, the UK one, not the American one, that is the one that opened my eyes to everything. And then when I met Graham, we discussed Airy Neve, who was a prisoner of war in Colditz, and he was with Margaret Thatcher, and they had a disagreement. And I mean, the Brighton bombing, I'm from Brighton, and I mean, if you watch the very first series, the lead character in it, Francis Urquhart, and I think that the guy who wrote it was actually Margaret Thatcher's private secretary as well. And this prime minister, this fictitious character, Francis Urquhart, whenever a bomb would go off, he'd look at the camera and he'd go, "Don't worry, that wasn't one of ours." You know, and it became obvious that there were certain people bumped off. And so, yeah, I've got my own theories about Mountbatten. And it's interesting, since the late Queen Mother died, a lot less people seem to get bumped off, don't they? Including the late Princess Diana. You know, they were dropping like flies when the old Queen Mother was alive. Nana Gaggle, ketamine was used to castrate cats. Oh, a vet tech for years ago. Now crazy kids use all this stuff. And they use what they call legal highs as well, which is like the household chemicals and stuff, don't they? Booper. Hello, everyone. Hello, Booper. No, there won't be any notifications on this channel. Don't worry about that. I did actually, this was more impromptu. I just felt it was important to talk about it because it feels like everything is speeding up a bit as we approach where, you know, yeah, Mountbatten was friends with Savile, so quite a few of them were, and in number 10. Hello, Wendy. Becky Paul, I'm a bit behind, but come to Michigan for the party. We'll have beautiful beaches, a huge lakes. Then we can leave my great grandbabies that I'm raising and join you. We can have tons of campgrounds. I would love that. Okay, did you see where George Clooney's $14 million mansion burned up due to a charging EV? Oh dear. Yes, that does seem to happen a lot. Hello, Katie. Jerry Lloyd. Katie Nichols just said he's so bad that he only allows a tiny circle of trusted aides to know his itinerary. Oh, really? And Charles asked for marriage advice from Savile. I know. Trip ticket twins and a dartboard with William's picture attached. Yeah, I bet. He's really jealous of William, isn't he? Pauline, on Tuesday 2 p.m, while Harry, Philomena, look up Ruby Frankie. Okay. I think I know that name, Ruby Frankie. That rings a bell. Ruby Frankie. Oh, right. She's a vlog YouTube. 8 passengers. Yes, I know exactly who you mean. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know she was arrested, sort of child abuse thing, wasn't it? It was like dead weird. I saw some of the clips of her YouTube channel. What? Why she died or something happened? Or I know she was sent to prison for a long time. Kerry, Harry is a disgusting, embarrassing mess. He is entitled beyond belief. Why Invictus is going along with this circus? Well, with big salaries, obscene. Yeah, I know. And when it all comes out, which it will, because in England, charities have to publish it. Although, do you know what they do with Invictus? It's not like one charity. I looked into this. They have Invictus 2027, and they set up a limited company for it. So it's not like in one place for a charity. Fiona, I bet when the visa applications papers come out, they will be mostly redacted. I bet you too. Yep. Christina, if Harry brings the kids for 24 hours, how selfish, flying young kids from Portugal to meet some bloke they don't know, then fly them back again. I know, I mean, if he's going to go, he might as well fucking stay. But he's an idiot. He doesn't think at all, does he? Marilyn Luca. Aloha. I have to go to yoga practice now. I did my exercises today. I do 50 Russian twists every day, which are very easy, actually. And I do my 5-minute Pilates every day as well. Grandma has been put out that H having a meeting with William while he's in the UK. Oh, and Lady C said it's total. Of course it's total BS. I knew they would do that. I knew, or the whole, this, you see, this is why William needs to be very visible and say, we're going to the Scilly Isles on islands, and probably him and Catherine need to release something. I think Spain just scored a goal. I don't know. They're making a lot of noise, but Google says no. Live update. Oh, he almost scored a goal. No, they're making a lot of noise. No. And that's a, I think that's a, oh, it's an X post. Well, your guess is as good as mine. But they don't make that kind of noise unless somebody's succeeded somewhere. Now, where have you guys gone? Lynn, I just saw the Freedom Flight speech. What a moron. Yeah, that's going to age really badly, isn't it, that Freedom Fight thing? Dawny, he has had no police protection in Portugal, but is having a hissy fit getting into the UK. I know. Celia, hello. Anna, hello, Fiona. Where did you get those earrings? Oh, I got these in Casemates. It's like a second-hand shop. I got them for $5. They were made in Morocco. Trip ticket twins. I've just seen a puff piece that said Catherine's encouraging William to see Harry. What a load of bollocks. Yeah, do you see what I mean? We are going to be inundated with this shit. Catherine wants it to happen. Oh, she's begging William. Oh, Harry met William. Oh, William said sorry. Oh, William said he's going to give the crown to Harry so Meghan can be the queen. We are going to have all of that horse shit. And apparently they're going to be in the UK. If they go, they're going to be in the UK for 2 weeks. Fucking hell, 2 fucking weeks. Hi, June. It's June again. I feel posh. You read out my comments. I've waited 2 years. Oh, I'm really sorry, June. I try and read out everyone's. That live I did the other day, it was so teeny weeny on. Are they cheering again? They are, you know, but I don't know why. Diane just throws crap out into the press without thinking it. Well, yeah, Moj, right, who's not here tonight, but you guys know Moj. She thinks that because the release is like, we're coming, no, we're not, we're coming, no, we're not. She thinks that the one saying we're coming is Harry, and the one saying no, we're not is Meghan, or vice versa. She thinks they're actually fighting each other. And I think that's quite the theory. I think Moj, who's been around from the beginning, I think she's onto something. Kay Bailey, if they are all in Portugal, what are they doing with the kids if they come to the UK? Well, allegedly they're bringing them with them. But we shall all believe that if we see it. Stevie, you're watching the match, still 0-0. Okay. I think it might have been a near miss. That's what they're getting excited about. I told you they love football in this country. Hazel, hello, good evening. Sue, could do a house swap with those two. Nobody would even think about looking for them being on a council estate. Well, yeah. I mean, you've got a point. Dave Murphy, I think just Harry and Archie will go. She will pull out saying Lily is sick. Now, that's a theory, Dave. You could be right. I mean, anything could happen. Absolutely anything. Corinne, all signs are there for cross-briefing. Yeah, they're going to be awful about the whole thing. Christina, I think your Spanish friends are getting excited whenever Spain gets the ball. Yeah. Dawning, apparently the FBI says there are serious threats on his life because of his military service. No, he mouthed off in his book about the kill numbers. Yeah. Jerry, yes, 2 weeks. That's what I've heard. It's 2 weeks. Not a good look to leave your very young children behind. Well, they've done it before, haven't they? It's very peculiar. TMM, DNA, no kids. Anna, I love Europe just for that reason. The shops are fantastic. Yes, they are. Hello, Caroline. Don't believe a word they say. I can't think why, Caroline. Well, it's not like they ever lie, is it? A fluffy lady. Baidu. Do you think the king will step away from the crown? Nah, he'll die on the job, same as his mother and all the others. Tracy, Lady Nim, and then they both blame the royal family. They blame, anything that they fuck up and do. Anything, they blame the royal family. Lindsay, they got a goal, but it was disallowed. Thank you, that explains that. Thank you, Lindsay. Kezia, if FBI has said that, MI6 wouldn't know. Harry is pushed in so Megsy can work for a few. If the FBI know it, MI6 will definitely know it. Not paranoid, just alert. Even the Taliban thinks Harry's a joke. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to fucking bother with him, are they? Caroline, he can ring doorbells in London with no bodyguard in sight. Yes. A lot of us have noticed that. June Wayman. You got three comments read out. I'm really sorry, June. I mean, I've tried. Over the years, sometimes the comments go so fast, but they're a nice steady pace tonight. Yeah, I love this community too, JM Stars. I love it. Valerie, hello. Hi, Fiona. Maybe the kids will go to their real parents from cold South Africa. Is it cold in South Africa at the moment? Oh, yeah, of course you would be, wouldn't you? You're quite far down from here. Because I think we're on the same time zone. Or we're not far out, are we? Midnight Hero. I'm not a fan of them, but remember what Harry has always been, and the woman made to sign NDA in the military. He is no different. It's all isn't her. He's dangerous. He admitted he contacted Marcus. Yes, not everything can be blamed on Meghan, but I blame 99.9% of it on her. What the fuck was that, cat? The cat's freaking out. I think it's a fish. What was that? Buddy! What is it? Oh, hello. Oh, I think that was a goal. It was a seagull. My cat is scared of seagulls, and I think Spain might have scored a goal. Let's check that. Oh, it's still saying 0-0. No, I don't think they did score. Julia Wigger, goal. I don't know. Enki's daughter. Sorry, I'm late. And I've gone back to the start. Fiona, you said that should he die abroad, then the body would be returned to the UK with a death certificate. I mean, I'm not that au fait, but that could be the case, couldn't it? Chris Boozy Breath. I just looked at Sagres, realised I was there in May. It's lovely, Sagres, actually. It's really lovely. Hello, Rosman. Stevie. Anna, if MI6 is so powerful, do you think they can get Harry and the children? Well, they gather information and then they follow orders. They're intelligence providers rather than acting on it. It would be other, like MI5 and MI6 would provide information, and other departments would deal with special operations. Oh, thank you, Anne. Hello, Anne fan. I think Meghan is behind most of this. So do I. I do believe Marcus has a hand in it too. I'm not sure. I think even Marcus might have decided she's just a little bit toxic. Rhonda, I wonder if H is even good at Xbox. Ah, Sarah, thank you. Spain scored a goal. Then Google is being very slow. Oh yes, Spain scored a goal, guys. And you know what I think with football? It's psychological, isn't it? Once the other team scored a goal, it must be so psychological for the team that hasn't, and they must be like, oh, now we've got to catch up, which is twice as hard. I suspect Spain will win. Diane McCaffrey, hello. Yes, they've scored. TMTB, seagulls are scary. They're big, greedy and entitled. I wondered what it was she was looking at. She's scared of them. She really doesn't like seagulls. Sandra Hollins head. I think Marcus likes controlling Meghan. I think Marcus is sick of her after Paris. He really didn't like her pulling that face and laughing at the girl who slipped. He didn't like that one bit. Stevie B, that's what England did last night. Played catch up, then won. Then they might win the actual World Cup, because in the semis, that's kind of the sort of thing that happens, is it? It's a little bit demoralising for them. You think Marcus is a handler, Diane? I don't know. Tracy Rogers, I live in Ohio and I'm very pale. My husband says I can get burned from the 40-watt bulb. I'm darker than those kids. Hello, Pat Pelham. I don't think they're even together right now. He can't stand her. I agree. They could be anywhere. Their spokesperson said they're in Portugal. And who was it who said earlier? I don't believe a bloody word they say. So I don't believe they are in Portugal either. Do any of you? I mean, maybe. I think Harry might be. Isn't it weird how it's always Harry with the little boy and her with the little girl? It's like the Parent Trap, isn't it? It's super weird. Stevie B, we've got Mexico next. Could be hard. Well, I might have to cheer for Mexico because my friend Denise, her husband is from Mexico. I don't know. I'm going to be torn on that one. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. Cherry Cole. Marcus was in Australia at Meg's event that bombed. Yes, he was, wasn't he? Yeah. Debbie Kofi. Hello. Nancy. Beverly, this week William is in Scotland and Catherine is at Wimbledon. Yeah, it's next week they're coming though, isn't it, Beverly? And I think that William and Catherine will probably go to the Scilly Isles. They could go to, Greece or something like that, but then they don't want anyone to know where they are. Whereas when they go to the Scilly Isles, it's good for them to let people know, this is where we're going on holiday. We're supporting the country and tourism and stuff and highlighting it. Plus, they love it there. Kids love it there. And as I say, I mean, yes, the public can get to it, but it's not that easy for Harry and Meghan, is it? Hello, Gina. If a divorce, who gets the surrogate kids? Well, Gina, we're not really talking about divorce tonight. We're talking about... What word can you guys give me one word in the comments? What would be a discreet and please don't use the M word. What discreet word could we use rather than divorce? Anna, do you read comments later? Yeah, no, I'm reading them all as quickly as I can as we're going up and down. Tia, how long can the mystery around those kids go on? At some point, something has to give. Well, yes. Yes. Dawny Lockyer. If they're in Portugal, is she posting on Instagram photos of them? Not recently that I've seen. Hello, Daggy. Nutty, uncoupled, uncoupling. Fell off its perch. Yes, Diane, that's a good one. Freedomization. Yeah. Separation's not quite the word I'm looking for, Valerie. I don't want to say things like death or an unfortunate incident. It's the Isle of Scilly. The Scilly Isles is a roundabout in Esher. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Christina. Is there only one island then? I thought there was more than one. Jerry, in Cocoa Beach, the seagulls will walk over you looking for food. Yeah, they're cheeky animals. Very cheeky. Julia Hunt, unalive. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mishap. A whoopsie. Forever not friends. Yeah. Himmy. Hi, everyone. Himmy Colili. I hope I've pronounced that right. Arena. Demeganification. Yeah, I quite like that one, actually. I suppose it would be a form of escape. You could see it that way, couldn't you? A release. Yes, Spain. Yes, Annabelle. Yes, Spain. 1, Austria 0. I like that, Stevie B. Unclawed. Declawed. That's another one. Do you think, Christine Suckup, they will be at Wimbledon for the finals? Oh, you mean William and Catherine? I thought you meant Meghan and Harry. I was going to know. I don't think so. Conscious uncoupling. Unconscious uncoupling. A ballistic blowback. Pat Pelham. He's like Charles. He's always got in his way. He doesn't know how to handle not getting his way. He's a brat on drugs and booze. Well, don't hold back, Pat. You say it as it is. Declawed. Yeah, I think defanged, Katie. I like declawed, actually. I think that's a pretty good one. Between the claw and the jaw clench. Anna, did you? Yes, House of Cards UK. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but you can look up clips like the best of, and it's a brilliant. I think they were 3 episodes each of the books they did them in, and they did House of Cards. Then there was another one, and then there was, I think the final one was To Play the King. I can't remember, but they're brilliant. Oh, I absolutely loved them. I was obsessed. Lintrick, it's Wimbledon finals at the weekend, as Catherine is the patron. B. Papso, lol. I grew up in the town next to Oyster Bay, New York, Long Island. There are large estates on the water. And seagulls by me attack a local garage employees as their nearest nesting site. Yeah, Graham got attacked by a seagull once. It came down and he had a shaved head at the time, and it bashed into his head and he had blood coming down. It was horrific. She'd gone a bit crazy. Lisa. I had to fight for my lunch against the seagulls once on Balbar Pier. They were really trying to take our food. Oh dear. A fluffy lady. What was the other ingredient that you added to the cottage cheese to help lower the cancer? Oh, flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil. And you keep it in the fridge. Okay. That's its big advantage, because the sunflower oil and a lot of the oils we eat now, to give them shelf life, they boil them really high temperatures and then cool them down, and that's where it's bad for your metabolism. Diane Ramos, I have a son that has a Megan for a wife, and he looks and is very happy, but he likes the drama. It's been 18 years. They're still together, and she tells him how he feels. Megan is staying. Okay. Linwen, they're around 145 Scilly Isles, though only 5 that are inhabited, and a lot of the isles are little more than rocky outcrops. Wow, Linwen, that sounds quite treacherous for sailing, doesn't it? Oh, I'd love to look into that. High Sea Coville. Do you know where I've always wanted to go? Elba. you know, where Napoleon, didn't he escape? He was imprisoned there, was it? Because I like the Count of Monte Cristo. But I looked into it, and it's actually really expensive to get there, and it's quite expensive to stay there because apparently everybody else wants to go and be where Napoleon was imprisoned. Imprisoned, if you like. I think he had quite a nice time, and then he escaped from there or something, didn't he? Unless I've got all that wrong. And it was people's fault when they started to feed them seagulls, then saw us food source. Well, yeah. Elba and St. Helena, Casey, thank you. I'd love to go there. Hi, Heidi. How about the word is called liberation? I'm not sure that's quite the right word, Heidi, because we're thinking, you know, Harry might have a whoopsie, you know, a little bit of a drug overdose sort of thing. So I better just check. I must have a channel because I'm still talking to you guys. I'm just going to check because I might be pushing the envelope just a little bit here. TMTV, sleep in the Jag to save dollars. Yeah, do you know what? Oh, I was in Morrison's the other day and it was really fucking hot. I took my mate there. She's in the shops. And I thought I'll sit in the car with the aircon on. And this man come and banged on the window and he said, turn your car off, your car's on fire. I was like, oh my God, my car's on fire. What the fuck? And then he said, no, your car's not on fire. You're choking us out or something. I thought, well, it's open air. There was only me and him. You know, he parked next to me. Fucking hell. Laura Lee, Fiona, I'm worried about this saga going on for 10 years. Kids reaching age of majority and MM still pitting the kids against each other. Well, yeah, it will go on and on and on, won't it? For sure. Until someone like Piers Morgan goes, what's fucking going on with those kids? You know, it'll have to be a big mouth like that, won't it? What the fuck's going on? Were you even pregnant, woman? Or was it a cushion? It'll have to be someone like, hi, the Lana. It's great to see all these new names in here. Heidi Keegan, I know I sit up in previously, but how about really the vice groups? Yeah, not just paranoid. Yes, St. Helena is British territory. I've looked at moving there. It's beautiful. They're really different, aren't they? Scilly Isle. Really different. They look really exotic. Like, I mean, it's like Bermuda. Hi, Brenda. Turn around. Hello. Hi, Sharon. Hi, my thoughts keep looking at M, touching him, controlling him. Yes. Yes, she is a control freak. Her father said it. He said she's not rude. She's very controlling. Do you remember that? Diane McCaffrey, we're on it. We're trying to get them off the royal website. And if they don't take them off the royal website, as I've already said, then it is a record and anybody can point to that and say, well, people actually wrote to them and said that. Fiona Gardner. Hi, Fiona. I just heard that Harry's US diplomatic visa isn't legal. I'll have to check into that. I don't know. Lynn Trick, I agree with Lady C. Archie is terrified of Meghan, in my opinion. They do both kids come across as a bit terrified, but the little girl's got a bit more, she's more the favourite, isn't she? Susan, I don't wish any harm on Harry, but I wouldn't care if he was no longer around as long as Meghan suffered the same fate. I don't want Meghan to be a widow. She would be she'd be a nightmare. She'd be a bloody nightmare if she was a widow. She'd milk it for everything, wouldn't she? Megsy measuring Harry for a wooden overcoat. Call it. Grandma, did you hear Has Been is going on James Corden's show? Oh yeah, I heard about that, you know. Is it Ricky Gervais said the worst thing to happen to cats, apart from dogs, was James Corden. Hi, Petita. Why can't the king strip him of the Order of the Garter? That sounds really funny, doesn't it? Strip him of the Order of the Garter. It's like a man ripping another man's garter off. And the way I feel about Harry right now, I can imagine the guy does wear garter. I know that's not what the Order of the Garter is, but, you know. Jam Stars. Fiona looks amazing. Big up all the ladies. Come on and support. Yes, ladies. We're all fighting through, aren't we? We're fighting through. We're enjoying all this post-menopausal stuff. Hello, Beryl, that birthday pic, the way Archie was, just limp with his arms and legs. And they're always so lonely, the photographs, aren't they? Very, very lonely kids. Hi, Wendy. People that think that drugs are okay. If I only sniff coke, this is not okay. This killed my sister. So people need to stop. Have a gauge. If you want to have a ganj, if you want to chill. But no, yeah, chemical stuff, chemicals. I'm going to wind this up quite soon, guys, because we've been, I don't know how long we've been, I'm not sure where I would see this. But it's gone dark now, so it's, thank you, Sherry. Diane, Corden is a boring fart. Well, I'm not familiar with him because I've been out of the UK a long time. I know who he is. Sherry, yeah, Harry had so many problems long before Meghan. Yeah, he's always been a bit of a delicate flower. At 63, I'm still waiting to be hit by the menopause. You're joking, really? I'm glad to have got it out of the way, you know, over and done with all that business, all that nonsense. I'm really sorry about your sister, Wendy. That's awful. Well, I'm going to wrap it up now, guys. Thank you very much. We'll all have to wait and see if Spain wins. I might actually watch the football match. I have loved this. It feels like we're conspiring, doesn't it? And thinking it all over. Thank you so much for joining me, all of you. I have had a fabulous evening with you. Alcohol can kill too. Yep, that's true. And cigarettes. There's a lot that can kill. There's a lot. Or living with Meghan. That's... Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And may your God be with you.